Hey everybody, I came out to this really rustic location and I'm going to do a talk for you at this moment of my situation, how it is. I do a lot of things that people typically do, you know, like in that way you could say I'm an average person. However, I react to it a different way than the average person would react to it. Because I'm aware of what's going on. Actually, I should get some forward lighting on myself. Can I get any forward lighting? Is there more forward lighting this way? Maybe it's better this way. By the way, this tree is amazing. It's kind of dead right now, but you can see it extending back behind me. If you look over there, it just snakes along. Like instead of horizontally, it just snakes along vertically, but it's not a vine. So let's talk about the way I react to things. And I don't mean a reaction like that connotation about, oh, you overreact. No. I'm just saying the typical mechanism of being in the world, things happen outside of you, and exactly how you are in that context of it, within context of life. How you fit yourself into that is what I mean about react. So you would imagine that I'm not like that at all because of how I'm looking at things, how I know the future will be. In other words, how I'm the changing element, I'm the changing piece that changes the game, changes the score, however you want to say it. Being that this is my unique position in the world, and knowing it for so long, day and night for decades, knowing it, but not really talking about it, not making that public, just keeping it to myself. I do these average activities of the postmodern world, which you're all familiar with. Yet I have a different reaction to it. I don't believe that these things are legitimate. I don't like to be doing them. I'm aware of these things, this activity that we have, like driving, like the way we buy our food, like paying rent, and how we categorize ourselves with careers and whatnot. You know what? I'm going to go out to where there's more lighting. I think that might be better for you, because it'll make the digital picture here less grainy. A lot more resolution, right? I might as well, if it's that easy. I'm just going to walk over here about 200 feet, like 100 yards or so. See, I'm going to go by. My family's over here. You're going to hear them. They're talking. I actually started this because I felt that they were acting very barbaric. They were not being thankful. But we won't get into that right now. I don't need to talk about it, but it just gave me a moment to collect myself. I want to do a statement for everybody. Hear them? There they are, really quick. I'll show you. There, okay. So let me get out to the light in the meadow here. The meadow. Oh yeah. See how bright it is? And from the woods, there's like a little clearing here. The sunlight is still, it's quite bright actually. too bright. But it's quite a beautiful location. Yeah, you can just see me like this here. There's a few cars like about 500 feet away. A few cars that'll go by on the country road over there. Okay. Yeah, thanks for staying with me and keeping your attention span, because I know some of you, you may be watching it, and that's kind of an unusual thing to do because you're used to the pace of TV. Like, well, that's not like this. I'm just doing a continuous shot. I'm flowing with it. I'm improvising what I'm saying. And, trying to get the picture here. Yeah, okay, that's better. So, these things that we do as a part of this life, the postmodern life, and this kind of really artificial world, it's not to be accepted. It's not just to be taken blindly, like without any analysis of it, without any questioning, skepticism as to, why. That's what we must do. That's what I've been doing since the beginning. It's like the attitude and the life's work of Henry David Thoreau, tenfold. That's one way of really seeing what it's like for me, the game changer, the one in that unique position, as you would know by now. I've had to conduct myself differently. I've had to carry myself differently. It's been difficult because I've had to see myself as separate, to know, to realize, hey, I'm separate. Oh, how my thoughts are looking at things. I understand other people's thinking, plus I understand the new consciousness that I have that no one else has. It's like, imagine being the Buddha who first experiences and discovers what we all know later on to be called the process of enlightenment. Just imagine that. And again, I want to say tenfold. I'm a pioneer. I'm what they would call by, what is it, a colloquialism, or a man ahead of his time. I'm from the future. But I'm here now, so that's the point. The future is now because I can exist now. Everyone else has to just come up to my time, my clock, my calendar. Are you with me? That right there tell you how these things have been created with you in mind. I made those things so that you could learn. You could figure out why I'm saying that this is an important thing. I made that thing so that you can use something new with me to enter over the horizon to the new world. You go to that sunset, you go to that horizon, you go to that frontier. I will go first, as I'm doing, as I'm always doing. I'm always ahead. What is that like? Can you just imagine what that's like if you never thought of yourself that way before? What is it like for a person that's ahead? Everything that I'm thinking, everything that I'm doing, all this invitation that I have for you to come to where I am, it's ahead. What can that possibly be like for somebody? And yet, if you put it all together and you realize this has been predicted, all you have to do is decipher the scriptures. You have to interpret it properly. It's not only translation, there's an interpretation challenge, and then there is how we react to it. That's the biggest part. You have to apply that, you have to accept it. That's huge, because a lot of things have already been interpreted. And it said this about scriptures. It said this and that. This is what we glean from it. Well, are you living life any differently now? Are you applying those maxims? Are you applying the message, the call? It is practically a command. But it's a command that because of free will, you choose to do it. How many people have chosen already? I don't see that many. I choose because in some ways I didn't have a choice. But that doesn't mean it was easy for me to realize, like, I have to choose to do it, yet I'm the only one. I have to be alone in choosing it. Oh, there's a huge plane flying over. Check it out. Can you see it? It's right there. Even out here. You hear that? Even out here, a big plane's got to go over. Hey guys, I've got some visitors. No, you didn't drop off the plane. It just coincided with that. You hear that plane going over?
Nope.
That was weird. Is that a real plane? So guys, I'm doing a vlog. I'm almost done. It's 12 minutes now, and it's almost done. I'm going to wrap it up probably by 14 minutes, people. But I always, when I do a video, I'm like wondering, oh man, are they going to watch it this week? That's what I always used to think, like back in 2007, 2009. And then it kind of changed, you know, all of the things in YouTube changed. But I used to say, oh my God, is this too long for them to listen to? Oh, is it just, am I getting too deep? You know, they'll probably lose their attention, which, because I know you're busy. I know you got all kinds of things. You don't realize what you should be watching. Now that's the real life, but there are also a lot of difficulty because they've, in their generation, has taken on the world. They don't realize what's good and what's bad. They always ask questions, but they can be stubborn once they say, oh, this is really attractive. This is really, you know, gaining my attention. This is something that seems so overwhelming and I have to have it. I desire it. And then I'm telling them, on the other hand, the voice of reason, the wisdom, the authority figure, not only the super authority figure, I'm saying, no, it's no good for you. And they're saying, but it's great, you know, we don't agree with you. We're going to disobey. We're going to disagree. But they're the life. So life comes from me. Life is all around me. My brethren, my family, my extended family. That's all come from me. But yet it goes wherever thou wilt. Whatsoever, whithersoever. Whatever kind of like Middle English terms you want to use. It's not necessarily going to all agree and coincide and be copacetic and be harmonious. It's going to be a lot of times antagonistic. It's going to be, hey, let's try this out. This is the new thing. We just made this up. Here goes another plane. Another one. Yet two of them in a row while I've been doing the video. Like they never stop. There it is. You can hear it. It is? No, it's not sparking. It's that's a light that it has on it because it's dark. It's starting to get dark, so they put the lights on. Actually, I think they always have the lights on. It's like driving with headlights when, you know, on the roads. But those are huge speeds, and things can be like up or down or right in front of you. Yeah, it's amazing. Just wait till they get more traffic up there, if they ever get to that point. And see, this is the thing. At the point we're at now, we're in the year 00050, using my calendar. And at this stage of the game, they're still thinking that they're going to keep progressing and developing this world of ours into their version of the world, their version of civilization, let's put it. They just assume that it's endless, indefinite, infinite, just going to keep going on at this rate in that way. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's the game changer here. I react to it a lot differently. I'm not going to accept it in any way, shape, or form. It's done. I've declared war. It is a day that will live in infamy. My fellow Americans, we have nothing to fear but fear itself. You remember. And now you know the rest of what that really means. You're going to find out. You're going to read it on all levels. If I said something fearlessly, and I said something with courage, the only thing outside of it is fear. So the only other way to go, there's one way that I'm recommending, or there's the other way, and the other way is just motivated and controlled by fear. And where is it that fear itself actually comes from? Where is it? But none other than the evil one, the evil source. That source that goes against what there is to live with life, because what eventually destroys us is letting in any fear. We cannot have fear. That is why I don't live the way everyone has been told to live. I don't live that way. And I never will. I would never comply with it. Never have. I've tried it just to have that experience, but you got to understand that I never wanted to do that. I did it for the experimentation to see what is it like? What are people going through? What don't they understand? As soon as they go through it and they tolerate it for so long, why isn't it that they don't wake up within a few weeks or within a few months or like say after a year? No. They make a life pursuit out of it, of tolerating the destruction of their soul and being controlled by fear. They go decades with that. Instead of actually what I'm doing is the way to defeat that, the way to succeed that, the way to be victorious. The only way is by living without fear, by living eternally in this moment. That's where I live. That's where I am. That's why heaven's at hand. You're going to find out what that means if you come to it. People take a long time. There's a proven track record of the way people resist this. There's a proven track record. So don't come to me and say, oh, see, we just want to believe that. We just want to do that. Very few of you even have applied that thing that has already been recommended to you and commanded to you. Is the only way to inherit eternal life, the only way to have heaven, the only way to be judged righteous. Very few of you have even done the basic principles in your life. Very few. You pick and choose what you think you can do, and then you compromise. You do the rest of what the postmodern, fearful world does. All that average stuff that I see out there, that's what you've been doing. And there's a proven track record through history. There is a known factual history that's there that says you don't do this for thousands of years, even though you've been told. You've been constantly reminded and explained and warned. Well, this is like your final warning. That's why I'm here. I think I've been more than generous in conveying the message to you. And I bring this message to you from the ultimate, highest source. And you had better not disobey. Adonai. A blessings on all who will heed this message. You've got a lot to learn, you've got a lot to listen to, and you need to start prioritizing it. And that's why it's here. It's here now.